Hi all, thanks for joining me today. Candace Gillespie here from Candace'sCanvases.com, and this is Fun Friday. Today is going to conclude our three-part series of this fun circular box. This one we're starting with our cylinder, and if you need a refresh on how to make that, we made it out of this Designer Series paper stack, and we basically glued two together. Next, we have some Whisper White cardstock. This is one entire 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock that is cut in half, and that half is glued together on the short sides and then scored in half. And then those are scored at 1.5 inch intervals, I guess you can say. Now, notice on the right, I am not folding it hard. That part is not scored. See on the right, I'm messing with it. Now I'm only folding the scored part on the left, and I'm lining that up at 1 1/8 of an inch, which is essentially the center of that top scored portion. And if you need to, you can always score that in half to help give you a guide. Fast forward, and I've done that to all the pieces, or all the little panels, trying not to crease that bottom part that's not rounded. Inevitably, it's going to be slightly creased, but don't worry about it. Just make sure you don't give it a good crease. Now here's where we do some good creasing. Bust out the bone folder, fold those score lines, and then we're going to fold opposite. We didn't score this, but you could if you want. We're just essentially going to fold this in half. Okay, now that that's done, I'm just kind of mountain valley folding these. Kind of do that all the way down. Remember, don't crease the part that's not scored. Okay, once that's done, I'm giving it a wrap around my cylinder to figure out how much I need. I don't want this to be too loose, so I find out that that's where I want to go. And there's no specific measurements given, exactly, because you can make this any size you want. There's just a basic method. Okay, so taking my Stampin' trimmer and cutting off that excess that I won't be needing for this lid. Definitely save that for something else. Okay, and then this, I think this is probably about a 1/2 inch section here. I am gluing and joining that together into a cylinder, matching up these two little pattern cutouts. Once that's done, I am grabbing another piece of Whisper White cardstock, folding that in half, and using my circles framelits and my Big Shot die cutting machine to just cut out a circle. I really only needed one, but I ended up cutting out two, and I'm totally fine with that. Just save it for something that we can use it on. Now I cut it out with the largest circle, and here I am using this one underneath that and my bone folder to give it a crease. I'm not running it through the Big Shot. I don't want to cut it, I just want to crease it. So I'm just encouraging that to fold on the crease line. Now we'll zoom in a little bit. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Now remember, the cylinder's already made and we didn't pre-score it, so we need to make a bottom, and that's what this is going to be. Now using your paper snips, you're going to snip up to that score line every 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch, and it's going to look like this. Once you're done snipping it all, you'll just fold on that circular score line. I'm going to fast forward through that, show you what it looks like when it's done. It's all nice and creased here. Then now what I'm doing is I'm going to run a thin bead of glue all along the perimeter of this on the inside. Once that glue is joined together, it's a complete circle in there. I'm going to sneeze one second. Excuse me. I am going to fit the piece through what's going to be the top so that the little tabs are inward, and then put it down on on the bottom, and then use my fingers, a bone folder, anything I can to kind of push those tabs to the side there. Next, I'm using our Cherry Cobbler sheer 1-inch ribbon. My nose is running. I'm sorry, I'm going to be sniffling while I finish this up. But I'm just taking probably 6-inch pieces of this ribbon and tying them in knots. I think there were 5 total, so I'm pinching the 2 valleys together, letting that mountain fold kind of pop out there. And snip that off, and doing that. Here's my final one. I think there was a total of 5. I can't remember if there were 4 or 5, but you'll know when you create it. And to have, you know, a night burst of allergies all of a sudden. I went on a bike ride, and that really gets me going, inhaling all the pollens and stuff, but I don't regret it. Okay, here's the lid, almost done. I love that look up at the top there. Now we're going to decorate the side of it because it's all stark white. So what I'm doing is I am going to measure this distance from top to bottom. I cut that piece out using the same designer series paper but a complementing pattern, and I glued the 2 pieces together to make it extra long. And then I'm going to center that between the top and the bottom and glue that together. Okay, then I'm going to pop the lid off and give it a good rub down with my fingers so the glue, that adhesive, sticks to the fibers of the paper really well. Okay, bring it back, and it's going to sit on here. We're almost done. I'm going to grab a box. This is my little spritzing box, and my vanilla Shimmer Smooch Spritz. That's a tongue twister. And spray it down. Put that aside, and I'm going to bring in the Merry Everything stamp set and some Garden Green Classic Stampin' ink. And I am going to first stamp the to and from. Now, we did this in the first video. I did it the opposite way. I stamped the sentiment one before I stamped this. So the first one I stamped, I accidentally got the little smudge on the inside. I just stamped it one more time, and I'm actually going to use that second one using the note tag punch to punch it out. And if you can bundle and save 15% if you purchase the stamp set and the punch together. So that's always good. You need to know that, people. Okay, now I inked up my busier stamp, and I'm placing my less busy piece, the opposite side, down onto that busier stamp. It's more of a solid stamp. It has more surface for ink. And then pop it off, and you have a double-sided tag. Love it. Okay, now I'm going to finish this tag off by using my 1/8 circle punch, punching a little hole at the top there, bringing in some linen thread for that to dangle off of my gift with. I think I'm cutting off probably about 8 to 10 inches, not really measuring, using my bone folder, kind of pulling on it like you would curl ribbon, and that helps get the kink out from it being on that cardboard bobbin, or bobbin, that's not the right word, is it? Spool, I guess. And then I'm going to thread that through. And tie it onto our gift. I love, this is probably of the 3. Wait a second, I have to stop myself. I was going to say this is probably my favorite, but it's not true. I love the closure apparatus on the first one. I love the bow on the second one. I love this fun kind of popper top on this one, and it's about a half inch taller too, so it's just so fun. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this 3-part series. where we have built and decorated this cylinder box, circular box. Thanks for subscribing to my channel, for liking this video, and for leaving a joyful comment. And feel free to visit CandacesCanvases.com to join my team or to shop your hearts out. All right, see you later. Bye.